Hi everyone, welcome back to Tech Booth. Today we are looking at the AD200 Pro Pocket Flash. If you've been using speedlights and it's time for you to upgrade, then the Pocket Flash, this AD200, is the right thing for you. It outputs more power than a speedlight, and it also has a better recycle time, and that's the time between flashes. And the battery life is also really good on this Pocket Flash. As you can see, you get a really nice carry case, and inside the carry case you get your Pocket Flash, of course. You also get your lithium-ion battery. This battery has really good life, about 500 flashes on full power. You also get your battery charger, of course, with a cable. Besides the flash head that's already connected, you also get a bare bulb and the accessory that you use to connect the bare bulb to your flash head. And finally, you get this bracket that you can use to attach your flash head to your light stand, and you can also push an umbrella through if you're going to use a modifier like an umbrella. On the side, that's where you put your battery. It's spring-loaded and it has a groove that guides you the right way to put the battery in, and all you do is just slip that in and push it in until it clicks. And on the side you get the battery release. Since it's spring loaded, make sure when you're taking it out it doesn't pop out and fall, so it just comes out like that and you put it back in. On this same side you get a flap that covers the PC sync port, and you can trigger the flash using the cable. There's also a USB port here. You cannot use this USB port to update your firmware. Instead, if you look under here, you get your USB-C port, and this is what you use to update firmware for the flash. On this same side where you mount the flash, you have your power switch, and it just slides up and down to switch the flash on and off. Obviously on the front you get your flash head, and this is removable. Right now we have the speedlight version. This is the speedlight version of the flash head, or the Fresnel version of the flash head, and this comes off. There's a release on the side, and all you do is you pull this back to release, and then this just slides off like this. Okay, it slides off like that, and you have these locator pins on both the flash head and the main unit, and to put it back on you just line up the pins, slide it down, and it clicks into place. If you want to put the bare bulb, all you need to do is to connect your bare bulb to this bracket that then connects to the flash head. When you look in there you can see two red dots. All you do is you line those two up and you just press this in lightly, and there you go. And then this helps to secure the bulb, and again you get those locator pins on both, and all you do is line up the locator pins and slides down. The speedlight head creates a more directional and kind of harsher light, whereas your bare bulb kind of spreads out your light a lot more. This part of the flash is where the light sensor is. So if you are using optical sync mode, where this flash is triggered by another flash coming off, it will sense the light right up here. If you're going to get this Pocket Flash, there are some accessories that I would recommend that you get to go with the Pocket Flash. The first thing is your transmitter, like this X2T or this other one, which is the X Pro 2, so that you can trigger your AD200 Pro. The second accessory that I would recommend you buy is this bracket. So instead of using the one that comes with the flash, I would recommend you buy something like this, because you can put your flash in here. So your flash goes into this bracket like this, and then you screw it down. With this bracket you can put a lot of modifiers onto your flash unit. I'd also recommend that you get yourself a softbox. Finally, you might want to get yourself an extra battery, but this lasts a really long time, so that might not be necessary, but it's something you can consider buying as well. So let's take a look at the Menu system, you have your AV panel where you see everything that you are doing. This button with the lightning is your test button. So once it's on and it's red, it means the flash is ready to fire. And when you press it, the flash goes off. Okay. And just above the test button, you have your wireless button and high-speed sync. When you short press it, you cycle between wireless mode and non-wireless mode, and the little wireless symbol appears at the top there. If you long press it, you see a high-speed sync symbol come up on the AV panel. That puts the pocket flash into high-speed sync mode. We usually use high-speed sync mode if you're going to be shooting at shutter speeds above around 200, 250 for most cameras, so that you don't get black banding when you take a photo. The next button on top is your group and channel selection or setting mode. And for you to cycle through the groups, you can see there's a group on there. All you do is short press and it cycles through the different groups from A to E. If you long press the same button, you go into the channel setting mode. The channel starts flashing, and as long as it's flashing, you can set your channel by moving this dial. And then to accept the channel that you've set, you just press set and it stops flashing and you've set your channel. The next button across is your mode button, and just like any speed light, this pocket flash has 3 modes. You can cycle through the manual mode, the multi-mode, and TTL. When you're in TTL mode, the pocket flash works with your camera to meter out the scene in terms of exposure, and it gives you the correct flash output automatically. In this mode, you cannot change the flash output. All you can do is change the flash compensation power. And what you do in that case is you press the set button and you get that flashing, and then when you move up and down, it increases the flash output in third of stops up to 3 and down to -3. So if you feel TTL, for example, is not giving you enough power output, you can set the flash compensation up so that it gives you more power. In multi-mode, you get a display that shows you 2 figures. Stroboscopic mode is a kind of creative mode where you capture moving subjects and you capture them frame by frame as they pass through the frame. And what happens in this mode is your flash goes off multiple times in a certain fixed period. And that is indicated by these 2 figures. So you can set the number of flashes that go off. So in this case, when I press the test button, the flash is going to go off 5 times in quick succession. And it's going to go off at this rate. It's written 10, so it's going to go 10 flashes per second. Most of the time you're not going to be using this unless you want to go into some creative photography, and there are some good videos out there that show how to use this stroboscopic mode. Going into the menu system, you go into your function settings and you have functions F1 up to F8. F1 is your sound. It can be on or off, or your beep. So you press set and then it's either on or it's off. When it's on, anything you do makes a noise. So when the flash goes off, it makes a noise, but you can set that to off. The next function, F2, is your optical sync mode. You can set it to off, to S1 or to S2. In optical sync mode, your flash will be set off when it sees another flash go off. So optical sync syncs your flashes via the light that is emitted when the flash goes off. There's a small difference between S1 and S2. When you put it in S1, the flash goes off immediately it sees another flash go off. In some cases, you get a pre-flash that meters the scene, and sometimes you don't want your flash to go off when that pre-flash goes off. So S2 solves that problem. It ignores that pre-flash and then flashes when the main flash goes off, and so they're in perfect sync. F3 is to set your standby power off mode, and you can set it to 30 minutes, 60 minutes or 90 minutes. And so after that prescribed period, or the period that you've set, the unit will go into standby mode to save on battery. The rest of the functions we really won't go into as an introductory video. Unless you are a really seasoned professional, you probably won't use those last function settings. The next button down is called your modeling lamp. The modeling lamp button turns your flash into a continuous light source. So when I press this, the light comes on and it stays on. That helps you to see what the light is going to look like when you take the picture. And once you have an idea, once you've set your lights correctly, you can then turn your modeling lamp off and go ahead and shoot. Setting this up to work with your trigger is very simple, and that's the other thing I like about it, because there's nothing that you have to go into the menu system to look for. Everything is right there on the buttons, and all you have to do is press to set your channel, press to set your group, and you've got that set very quickly. And that's it for today, your introduction to the AD200 Pro. If you're upgrading from a speedlight, this is a really good step as you go towards even bigger lights like your studio strobes. See you next time on Tech Booth.